Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Cody the Coin Raptor, and I'm here to bring you my Bitcoin 2023 price prediction. But before we get to that, be sure to smash that subscribe button to see my latest content and leave a like if you like this content and would like to see more. So, starting with something very important I want to point out. If we go and we take a look at the yearly chart for Bitcoin, what we can see here is that we have multiple red years. Okay, so today we can basically close out the 2022 Bitcoin year. And we can say that it's been a pretty bad year for Bitcoin, down a total of 64% for the year. But one thing you'll notice here is that Bitcoin does not tend to have two consecutive red years. In fact, the next year is oftentimes green. So, like for instance, here in 2014, we started off minus 56%. The next year, it was up 33%. And then over here in 2018, it was down 72%. And in 2019, it came up to 88% gains for the year. Now, that being said, that doesn't mean that it's an immediate rally to the top of whatever the last bull market was. In fact, it actually seems like it's much lower than that. And in this case, in 2019, it went all the way up here to about 13,000. However, it was still much higher than the bear market low here at about 3,200, or even what it closed at for the year at about 3,800 for the 2018. So similarly, I think what we're going to see is we're going to actually see a fairly strong green year for Bitcoin in 2023, just not immediately. What we're going to wind up seeing is a Bitcoin that finishes the year strong. And I want to go ahead and kind of lead you through my thought process and how I feel like the year is going to play out. So again, this is kind of my best guess. So just keep that in mind. Not financial advice. Do your own research. But this is the best guess that I can put together from the position that we're at right now heading into the new year. So what we have here is our Bitcoin price currently. All right, so Bitcoin has this box around it, right? This box that goes all the way right now from about 17,700 all the way down to about $12,000. And so I think what's probably going to be happening is that in the first quarter of the year, next year in 2023, what we're going to see is we're going to see a big drop in the Bitcoin price. Okay, it could be immediately, it could be a month or two in, it could be in January or February. Here I've kind of put it in sort of like the February, March area, but I think that in Q1 we're going to see a big drop in the Bitcoin price, and we're going to get that final capitulation event that flushes everybody out and causes mass panic in the market. So I think we're going to wind up getting that in February or March potentially, or maybe even January, but somewhere in that range. And it's going to have an effect, a magnet to these prices, and it's going to come down here at, I think, probably around 12,000, maybe 12 to 14,000 or so. And then it's going to finally bounce off. We're going to get the bear market bottom. And then from there, we're going to probably wind up spending the next couple of months trading sideways for the most part. Okay. And then what we have here is a series of higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. And now we have our first catalyst. And I think what's going to happen is we're going to have that Fed rate cut. So this is the Fed funds rate. The Fed's going to pivot at some point next year. I do believe it's probably going to wind up being September, October, in that time frame. But right now I have it set up for September. But the Fed's going to pivot. Okay. And when the Fed pivots, it's very, very important because that is going to spark our final our rally out of this trough that we've been in here. So one thing you'll notice here is that as soon as it crosses above about that 17,800 level, which was the current resistance right now for Bitcoin, we're going to see a big pump here. And it's going to go all the way up here. We're probably going to hit our head in resistance of about 24,000. Now, this resistance level here is particularly important because this represents the August resistance point from 2022. This was the highest point that it got during the bear market and after all the flushes and everything. So as soon as it breaks out from this point, from this 24,600 level, you're going to see a huge rally here. So again, it's going to break out from that point. I think, in this case, probably about November-ish, and it's going to rally even higher. It's going to hit its head on this May 2022 resistance here. That's at about 32,000 or so right here. And then after that, we're probably going to get a quick pause, and then we're going to get another rally going into the end of the year. And this is going to be kind of like the November, December rally for next year. And the reason for that is because I think that we're going to wind up getting a significant amount of bullish sentiment coming in from the next event that I want to point out, which is the Bitcoin halving. So currently, the Bitcoin halving is scheduled, roughly speaking, to be about March 28th, 2024. However, that being said, I've put it in at about the 31st or so of March. It could be probably March or April, but we're going to wind up seeing a big bump in the Bitcoin price heading up to the halving. And then as soon as we get the halving, we're probably going to see a big sell off in the price as investors and traders decide they're going to be selling the news, right? Buying the rumor up here. And then when the event happens, they're going to be selling the news. And then we're going to get a little bit of a dip. And then we're going to actually wind up moving higher than that. But as for 2023, so what I have penciled out here and my best guesstimate here is that it's probably going to finish somewhere above 30,000. That's what I think is going to happen for 2023. Now, this could change depending on a variety of factors. There are so many different factors that can go into next year. It's ridiculously hard to kind of predict this. But if things kind of stay the way they are right now, and we don't get any major other additional capitulation events like coming up here in like September or October of next year or something like that, that would kill any momentum from like a Fed rate cut, then we're going to wind up seeing a much higher Bitcoin price at the end of the year in 2023. And it's not going to be back to, say, 69,000 or 70,000. It's going to be higher than how it entered the year, which in this case, for me, I would say is going to be about 16,500 or so going into the new year. But it's going to, I am very strongly convinced that it is going to end the year at a higher level than at the very least 16,500, 16,700, somewhere in that range. And so we're going to see a very strong rally as soon as that Fed rate cut actually happens. All right, so my plan is to DCA through this whole sideways consolidation and then this bottoming pattern that we're going to wind up getting probably at the first of the year, and then throughout the sideways consolidation we're going to get throughout the rest of next year. And so this will set me up for a strong rally to close the end of the year here. And that's my plan to kind of take advantage of this. And then once we get through this March 22 resistance level and it pushes above that level, I think that's going to be clear confirmation that we're completely out of the bear market cycle. All right. So that's all I've got for you guys today. If you like this content, let me know, like, subscribe, and go ahead and leave a comment as well. What's your guys' prediction for the Bitcoin price? Is it going to be higher or lower than mine? Definitely would appreciate a comment below and let me know what you guys think. This is Cody the Coin Raptor, and I hope to see you in the next video.